Divya Bharti stopped filming to read a fan's letter. What she said next made the entire crew cry. The sun hung low in the Mumbai sky, casting long shadows across the bustling film set. The air was thick with anticipation, a mixture of excitement and tension as the crew prepared for another grueling day of shooting. Amidst the chaos, one question hung heavy in the air. What does it truly mean to inspire someone? As the camera rolled, the vibrant energy of the set seemed to pulse with each take. Divya Bharti, a radiant star with an infectious smile, stood at the center of it all. Her laughter, bright and genuine, echoed against the high walls of the studio, momentarily dispelling the stresses of the day. Dressed in a simple yet elegant outfit, she embodied grace. Her dark hair framed her face, accentuating her expressive eyes that sparkled with warmth and kindness. Cut. Great job, everyone. Raj Malhotra, the esteemed director, called out, his voice cutting through the ambient noise. Raj was known for his unwavering focus and relentless pursuit of perfection. He was a man who understood the weight of storytelling, but today, his brow was furrowed with the pressure of the tight filming schedule. Maya Desai, the young production assistant, stood nearby, her heart racing as she watched Divya. She had idolized the actress for as long as she could remember, dreaming of the day she would step into her shoes. Today, the reality of being on set with her idol felt surreal. Maya's eyes sparkled with admiration as she caught glimpses of Divya's kindness, but she also felt the palpable tension radiating from Raj. The crew was weary, and the clock was ticking. As the crew prepared for the next scene, a quiet moment of calm washed over the set, only to be interrupted by a small package that had arrived for Divya. It was addressed to her in a childlike scrawl, a letter from a fan. Curiosity piqued, Divya held it delicately in her hands, a slight frown creasing her forehead. She glanced around, noticing the bustling activity momentarily fade as everyone stole glances at her. "Hey, what's that?" Karan Patel, the cameraman and Divya's friend, asked with a teasing grin. He had a knack for lightening the mood, always ready with a joke, yet today, he sensed the tension in the air. Divya smiled softly, her heart warming at the thought of connecting with someone who admired her. "Just a letter from a fan," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. Raj, however, was less than pleased. "Divya, we need to keep filming. We don't have time for distractions." His voice was firm, but behind his authoritative tone was a flicker of concern for the film's progress. Divya looked at him, conflicted. She could feel the weight of the letter in her hands, as if it were a lifeline to someone struggling. The crew, sensing the shift in atmosphere, held their breath, waiting for Divya's next move. "Just a minute, Raj. I want to read it," she insisted, her tone gentle but resolute. It was a simple request, yet the tension in the room thickened. The studio lights flickered as if mirroring the uncertainty hanging in the air. With a nod from Divya, the crew reluctantly resumed their tasks, but their eyes remained glued to her. The set, once filled with laughter and camaraderie, now felt charged with an unspoken question. What would she discover within those pages? Divya unfolded the letter, her heart racing as she scanned the handwriting. The words poured out like a river of emotion, each line a testament to the profound impact she had on her fans. It told the story of a young girl battling a terminal illness who found solace in Divya's films. With every word, Divya could feel the weight of the world resting upon her shoulders. Tears pricked at the corners of her eyes as she read about the girl's struggles, her dreams, and how Divya's performances had sparked a flicker of hope in her darkest moments. The letter expressed gratitude and a plea for strength, reminding Divya of the true power of her craft. In that moment, the bustling set faded into the background, and all that remained was the connection she felt with this young girl, who was fighting a battle Divya couldn't even begin to comprehend. As she continued to read, the words blurred with her tears, she could feel the emotions swelling within her chest, a mixture of sadness and hope. "Divya," Karan's voice broke through her reverie, but she couldn't look up just yet. The crew was watching her intently, the once lively atmosphere now thick with emotion. Raj's frustration grew palpable as he watched the clock tick away precious minutes. "Divya, we need to stay on schedule," he urged, his voice strained. But Divya couldn't shake the feeling of duty she felt toward the girl whose words echoed in her heart. "I need just a moment," she whispered, her voice trembling. The crew held their collective breath, the tension between them and Raj palpable. They were caught between the pressures of production and the profound emotional connection that was unfolding before them. As Divya finished the letter, a wave of emotions washed over her, and she finally looked up, her eyes glistening. "I can't ignore this," she said softly, her voice breaking. "This girl needs to hear that she's not alone." In that moment, the set shifted. Raj's stern expression softened as he realized the gravity of the situation. The crew exchanged glances, their hearts swelling with empathy for the young fan. "Divya, we can't afford to lose more time," he began, but the determination in her eyes silenced him. "Raj, this is more important than any scene," she replied, her voice steady despite the tears that glistened in her eyes. "We can take a break. Just for a moment." The tension in the room began to dissolve, replaced by a shared understanding of the deeper purpose of their work. As Divya prepared to address the camera, the crew leaned in, sensing that what they were about to witness was far beyond mere filmmaking. It was a moment of humanity, a glimpse into the power of connection and compassion. And as the sun dipped lower in the sky, casting a warm glow over the set, Divya knew that this letter was not just a distraction, it was a call to action, a reminder of why she had chosen this path in the first place. The world of film was filled with glamour and lights, but at its core was the ability to touch lives, one story at a time. The bustling film set, once alive with laughter and camaraderie, took on a heavy silence as Divya's eyes scanned a handwritten letter. It was unexpected, a small envelope that seemed to carry the weight of the world. The crew, momentarily forgotten, stood in hushed anticipation, their eyes flickering between Divya and the director, Raj Malhotra, who was visibly agitated. "Divya, we really need to keep going," Raj urged, his voice a mix of frustration and concern, breaking the silence. "We're behind schedule as it is. This scene is crucial for the film's emotional arc." But Divya remained transfixed, her heart racing as she read the heartfelt words penned by a young girl named Neha. The letter spoke of Neha's battle with a terminal illness, her dreams of attending a Divya Bharti movie premiere, and how the actress's performances brought light into her darkest days. Each word seemed to resonate within Divya, pulling her deeper into the emotional turmoil that came with being a public figure. "Raj, just give me a moment," she replied softly, her voice barely above a whisper. Maya Desai, the production assistant, stood nervously to the side, her admiration for Divya palpable. She watched as Divya's expression shifted from one of excitement to profound sadness. Maya had always idolized Divya, not just for her talent but for her kindness. Now, witnessing this moment, she felt a surge of empathy for both the actress and the girl who had reached out for hope. "Divya, we can't afford to lose more time," Raj pressed, glancing at the crew who were now exchanging concerned looks. "We have a lot riding on this film. The studio expects us to deliver." "I understand, Raj," Divya replied, finally looking up from the letter, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "But this is important. It's not just about the film. It's about something much bigger than that." The tension between them grew, an invisible chasm that seemed to widen with each passing second. Raj's brow furrowed, and he ran a hand through his hair in frustration. "Look, I appreciate that you want to connect with your fans, Divya. But you also have a responsibility to this project and to everyone working hard to make it happen." Divya sighed, feeling torn. She glanced at Maya, who was now stepping forward, her youthful enthusiasm shining through the uncertainty. "Raj, maybe we could just take a short break? It wouldn't hurt to give Divya a moment to gather herself. The crew could use a breather too," Maya suggested, her voice shaky yet firm. Raj hesitated, his gaze shifting between Divya's pleading eyes and Maya's hopeful expression. The weight of expectations pressed upon him, yet he found himself at a crossroads. The film was important, yes, but so was the emotional connection it aimed to create. "Fine," he relented, albeit reluctantly. 5 minutes. But we really need to wrap this scene up quickly after that." Divya nodded, a flicker of gratitude crossing her features. "Thank you, Raj," she said, her voice filled with a mixture of relief and determination. She turned away from the crew, finding a quiet corner of the set where she could focus. As she reread Neha's letter, tears streamed down her cheeks. The girl's words were a reminder of the impact she could have, not just through her roles on screen but also in the lives of those who looked up to her. Divya felt a profound sense of responsibility. It was a weight she had carried since the beginning of her career. "Divya?" Maya called softly, stepping closer. "Are you okay?" Divya wiped her tears away, forcing a smile even as her heart felt heavy. "I will be. This letter, it just hits home, you know?" Maya nodded, her admiration for Divya deepening even further. "You've always inspired me. I can't imagine how much you mean to someone like Neha. Maybe you could do something special for her." Divya pondered the suggestion, a flicker of hope igniting within her. "You're right. I want to do something that shows her she's not alone in this fight. Something that makes her feel special." As time passed, Divya's resolve grew stronger. She understood the importance of her role, both as an actress and as a beacon of hope. But the clock was ticking, and she could feel the pressure building around her. She was caught between the demands of her profession and the heartfelt desire to reach out to someone who needed her. Meanwhile, Raj paced the set, his mind racing with the implications of the delay. He was known for his high standards, and every moment spent idle felt like a risk. He had dedicated his life to filmmaking, creating stories that resonated with audiences, yet here he was, grappling with the dilemma of art versus the human experience. "Why does it always have to be so complicated?" he muttered to himself, feeling the weight of responsibility not just to the film but to the people involved in it. In that moment of contemplation, he noticed Karan Patel, the cameraman, who had been quietly observing the unfolding drama. Karan was well-liked on set for his easygoing nature, often lifting spirits with his humor. He approached Raj, sensing the tension. "Hey, Raj. You know Divya's got a good heart. Sometimes, it's those moments that matter the most," Karan said, his tone light yet sincere. Raj looked at Karan, his expression wavering between frustration and understanding. "I know, but we have deadlines. How can we make an impact if we can't even finish the film on time? Sometimes, life doesn't follow a script." Maybe this is a chance for Divya to show that her art is about more than just the screen. "It's about connecting with people, just like we do with our audience," Karan replied, gesturing towards the crew who were now whispering among themselves, clearly affected by Divya's emotional moment. Raj took a deep breath, the gaze in his mind slowly shifting as he considered Karan's words. Perhaps there was a way to blend both worlds, the artistic integrity of filmmaking and the profound impact of personal connection. As Divya returned to the set, a sense of determination radiated from her. She had made her decision. "Raj, I want to record a message for Neha. Something that she can hold onto during her fight. I believe it could mean so much to her." Raj studied Divya's face, searching for signs of distraction or doubt, but all he found was clarity. She was resolute, and in that moment, he felt the stirrings of respect for her conviction. "All right," he said, his tone softer. "Let's make it happen. But after that, we really need to get back to filming." "Deal. Deal." Divya smiled, the weight on her heart beginning to lift. "Thank you, Raj." As the crew rallied around Divya to set up the impromptu recording, the atmosphere shifted from tension to a shared sense of purpose. The cameras rolled as Divya took a deep breath, her thoughts centering on Neha, the girl whose words had sparked this moment of connection. "Hey Neha," Divya began, her voice steady yet warm. "I just want you to know that you're not alone in this. I believe in you, and your strength inspires me every day." As she spoke, the crew felt the power of her words seep into the very fabric of the set. There was something magical about the way Divya connected with her audience, and in that moment, they all felt like a part of something greater. So, as the lights flickered and cameras rolled, the crew witnessed not just a scene being filmed, but a moment of humanity that transcended the boundaries of the screen. It was a reminder that storytelling was not just about the narratives they created, but about the lives they touched along the way. As the recording came to a close, Divya felt a wave of relief wash over her. She had taken a step towards honoring Neha's spirit, and in doing so, she had ignited a spark within herself. But just as she thought they could finally resume filming, Raj's phone buzzed insistently. His expression shifted as he read the message, and the tension returned, thickening the air around them. "Guys, we've got a serious issue with the studio," he announced grimly. They're not happy about the delay and are threatening to pull funding if we don't stick to schedule. The crew fell silent, the weight of the ultimatum hanging heavily in the air. Divya's heart sunk as she glanced at Raj, who now looked more overwhelmed than ever. The conflict had deepened, and the path ahead seemed fraught with uncertainty. As the filming resumed, the crew worked diligently, but the shadows of doubt lingered. They were now faced with a choice: to pursue their artistic integrity or to bow to the relentless demands of the industry. In that moment of turmoil, the question remained: how would Divya navigate this labyrinth of responsibility, passion, and the impact of her choices on the lives of others? And as they pressed on with renewed determination, there was an unspoken bond forming among them, a collective understanding that whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together. If you're enjoying Divya's journey and want to see how this unfolds, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Join us as we explore the power of connection, the struggles of creativity, and the heartwarming stories that remind us all of what truly matters. Your support means the world, and we can't wait to share more of this incredible journey with you. The sun dipped lower, casting an orange glow through the set, transforming the atmosphere into a kaleidoscope of emotions. The crew, usually buzzing with the energy of creating art, now stood in a heavy silence. The tension was palpable, a tightrope stretched thin over a chasm of unspoken words. Divya clutched the letter in her hands, her heart racing as she absorbed every word. Raj Malhotra, the director with a reputation for being meticulous and at times unyielding, stood a few feet away, arms crossed and brow furrowed. His frustration was evident, but he was also acutely aware of the delicate situation unfolding before him. Divya's eyes glistened with unshed tears as she turned to face her crew, her emotions threatening to spill over. "Divya, we really need to stay on schedule," Raj said, his voice steady but laced with an edge of impatience. "This film is important, and we can't afford to waste time on." "On what?" Divya interrupted, her voice trembling but resolute. "On a message that could change a life? Raj, this is bigger than our film. This is about hope." Maya Desai, the young production assistant who had idolized Divya since she was a child, stood to the side, her heart pounding in her chest. She admired Divya not just for her talent but for her compassion. Maya had her own struggles, battles fought quietly in the shadows, and she felt a rush of solidarity with her idol. "Maybe we should take a moment," she ventured, her voice barely above a whisper. Raj shot her a look that could silence a room, but Maya stood her ground. What if this fan sees Divya as a beacon of light in her dark times? Isn't that what we all strive for? Divya's heart swelled at Maya's words. She felt a connection to the young fan whose letter she held. This wasn't just an interruption, it was a call to action, a reminder of her purpose as an artist. She took a deep breath, steadying her racing heart, and addressed the crew. "I know we have deadlines, but I can't ignore this. I want to record a message for her. Please, let's take a moment." The crew exchanged glances, the tension thickening in the air. Raj's jaw clenched, but he could see the passion in Divya's eyes. He took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment. "All right," he relented, his voice firm yet softened by understanding. "But just a few minutes. We need to wrap this up soon." Divya nodded, her heart racing with gratitude and determination. She walked over to a makeshift set decorated with soft lights, ready to create a moment that would transcend the confines of the film world. The crew gathered around, their initial skepticism waning as the sincerity of the situation washed over them. As the camera rolled again, Divya took a moment to collect herself. The words from the letter echoed in her mind, reminding her of the young girl's struggles and how much hope could be found in the smallest gestures. She looked directly into the camera, her voice trembling but strong. "Hello, my dear friend," she began, her eyes shining with unshed tears. "I received your letter, and I want you to know how much your words touched my heart. You are so brave, and your fight inspires me. Life can be incredibly challenging, but every moment is a gift. You have the strength within you to overcome this, and I believe in you." Tears streamed down her cheeks as she spoke, the emotions spilling over. The crew listened, enraptured by the raw authenticity of her message. Raj, standing behind the camera, felt the tension in his chest loosening. He could see the impact of Divya's words not just on the fan, but on everyone present. Divya continued, her voice a soothing balm, "Please remember that you are not alone. You have a community of people who care about you, who want to support you. I want you to find joy in the little things, to seek laughter and love even in the darkest of times." As she finished speaking, the silence enveloped the set like a warm embrace. The crew was spellbound, moved beyond words. The emotional weight of the moment hung heavily in the air, and Divya's vulnerability cracked through the hard exterior of the film set. Raj, who had been the most skeptical, felt something shift within himself. He stepped forward, still holding the camera. "Divya," he said, his voice thick with emotion, "this isn't just about your message. It's about all of us. We all have our battles, our struggles. We're all fighting to find our place in the world." Maya, emboldened by Raj's words, stepped forward. "I faced my own challenges, and Divya, you've been my inspiration. Your films taught me to dream, to believe in myself. I think we all need to hear each other's stories. It would mean so much to those who feel alone." Divya looked at Maya, her heart swelling with pride and admiration. She realized that this moment was more than just a response to a fan's letter. It was a recognition of shared struggles, of humanity weaving through the fabric of their lives. She glanced around at her crew, noticing the tears in their eyes, the compassion etched into their expressions. "Let's do something together," Divya suggested, her voice steadying. "Let's record our own messages of hope. We can share our stories and remind everyone that they're not alone." The crew, caught in the whirlwind of their emotions, began to nod, building momentum. Raj's initial hesitation melted away, replaced by a sense of unity. "All right, let's do this," he said, a newfound warmth in his tone. "Let's capture these moments." As the camera rolled again, the crew began to share their stories, each one more poignant than the last. From Karan, the cameraman who spoke of his struggles with self-doubt, to a lighting assistant who had faced loss and found solace in their craft. Each voice added to the tapestry of resilience, creating a heartwarming narrative that transcended the film they were making. Divya felt a surge of pride as she watched her crew come together, their shared vulnerabilities creating a bond that would last far beyond the set. Tears flowed freely, and laughter broke through the heaviness, a testament to the healing power of connection. In that moment, the film set transformed into a sanctuary of hope. Divya realized that this experience wasn't just about fulfilling a deadline or producing a film. It was about creating a legacy of love and support, one that would resonate with their fan and countless others. As the final message was recorded, Divya felt a sense of fulfillment wash over her. They had created something beautiful together, a reminder that in the chaos of life, hope could be found in the simplest of gestures. And just as she thought they had reached the pinnacle of emotional release, a twist unfolded. Raj, wiping his eyes, stepped forward with a hesitant smile. "I have something to share too," he announced, his voice trembling slightly. "This letter, it reminds me of my sister. She fought a brave battle against illness, just like the girl in your letter. She inspired me every day. I always thought I had to be strong, the director, the one in control. But I realize now that vulnerability is strength." The crew fell silent, the revelation sinking in. Raj's sister had inspired him, just as Divya inspired countless others. It was a moment of revelation that bound them all closer together, their shared humanity shining through the lens of their work. Divya stepped forward, her heart full. "Thank you for sharing that, Raj. We all have our stories. Let's not just tell them, let's live them. Let's create art that reflects the depth of our experiences and the beauty of our shared struggles." As the sun began to set, casting a golden hue over the set, the crew stood united, a family forged through the fires of creativity and empathy. They were not just making a film, they were crafting a narrative that would touch lives and inspire hope. And in that moment, they realized the true power of storytelling, the ability to connect, heal, and uplift one another. The film would go on, but the message they created together would resonate long after the credits rolled. The sun dipped lower in the sky, casting a golden hue over the Mumbai film set as Divya Bharti stood at the center of it all, holding the heartfelt letter from her fan. The moment felt surreal. This was no ordinary day of filming. The crew, who moments ago were caught up in the mechanical motions of shooting scenes, now stood frozen, waiting for Divya's next move. Raj Malhotra, the director, watched with a mix of frustration and curiosity. The crew's whispers faded into silence, replaced by the palpable tension in the air. Divya had asked for a pause. The emotional weight of the letter had struck her deeply, and she couldn't simply brush it aside. In that moment, she felt a shift within herself, an awakening that transcended the role she was playing on screen. Taking a deep breath, Divya broke the silence. I know we need to finish this film, but I can't ignore the impact my work has on others. This letter, it's from a young girl who is fighting for her life. If my words can bring her even a fraction of joy, then I have to respond. Raj, his brow furrowed, weighed her words. The pressure of the film's schedule pressed down on him, yet there was something undeniably powerful in Divya's plea. He had always respected her talent and the way she connected with her fans, but this was different. It was raw, deeply human, and it challenged the very essence of their work. Divya, he began, his voice steady but strained, I understand. But we have a tight schedule. Every moment we lose adds pressure to the team. How do we balance this? Divya met his gaze, her eyes glistening with unspoken emotions. By remembering why we are here. This isn't just about making a film. It's about touching lives. If we can inspire even one person, isn't that worth a little time? The crew exchanged glances. Maya Desai, who had been quietly observing the exchange, felt her heart swell with admiration for Divya. She stepped forward, her voice trembling with emotion. I think we should do it. This film is about connection, and Divya has always shown us the power of that connection. If we can help someone feel seen and heard, then we must. A murmur of agreement rippled through the crew. Karan Patel, the cameraman, nodded enthusiastically. Let's do it for her. For all the fans who look up to Divya. I'm in. Raj, after a moment's contemplation, sighed and nodded. All right, let's take a moment. But we need to make sure we can get back on track afterward. Divya smiled, her heart swelling with gratitude. Thank you, Raj. I promise I'll make it quick. With that, she turned to the crew, who set up the cameras for an impromptu recording. The atmosphere shifted, transforming from one of stress to a palpable sense of purpose. Divya took a deep breath, her heart racing as she thought of the young girl watching from her hospital bed. Hello, Divya began, her voice steady yet filled with warmth. My name is Divya Bharti, and I want to take a moment to talk to you. I received your letter, and I want you to know how much your words meant to me. You are so brave, and it is so inspiring to hear how my work has touched your life. As she spoke, Divya's voice carried a genuine authenticity that resonated not just with the girl but with everyone on set. Life can be incredibly difficult at times, and it's okay to feel scared or overwhelmed. But remember, you are not alone. You have the strength within you to fight and to find joy in the smallest of moments. You are loved, and you are a warrior. Tears glistened in the eyes of the crew as they watched Divya pour her heart into that message. The vulnerability she displayed was palpable. She was no longer just an actress, she had become a beacon of hope, a voice for those who felt unheard. As she concluded the message, Divya spoke directly to the camera. Stay strong, and never forget how special you are. I'm sending you all my love and strength. When she finished, the silence that followed was heavy with emotion. Divya turned to see the entire crew, including Raj, visibly moved. Some were wiping away tears, while others exchanged looks of solidarity and understanding. The walls of the studio, once filled with tension, now echoed with the warmth of shared humanity. Raj stepped forward, his eyes glistening. That was incredible, Divya. Thank you for reminding us all of what truly matters. Let's get back to filming, but let's carry this moment with us. The crew nodded in agreement. As they resumed their positions, the energy in the room felt lighter, more connected. Divya had not only managed to address the conflict but had transformed the atmosphere of the entire set. In the days that followed, Divya's message traveled beyond the confines of the studio. The young girl received the video, and the joy it brought her spread like wildfire. Social media buzzed with stories of hope and resilience, and fans shared their own experiences of struggle and triumph, inspired by Divya's words. Divya herself felt transformed. She had always known the impact of her work, but this experience deepened her understanding of her role as an artist. She realized that being in the public eye came with a responsibility to uplift and empower others. This newfound perspective invigorated her performances, infusing them with a sincerity that resonated with audiences. As the film wrapped up, the crew gathered for a final celebration. Laughter and joy filled the air as they reflected on their journey. Maya approached Divya, her eyes shining with admiration. "You've taught me so much, Divya. I want to follow in your footsteps, not just as an actress but as someone who can inspire others." Divya smiled warmly, placing a hand on Maya's shoulder. "You already have that spark within you. Always remember the power of your voice and the importance of kindness." As the celebration continued, Divya felt a sense of fulfillment wash over her. She had not only created a film but had also forged deeper connections with those around her, reminding them of the beauty of vulnerability and empathy. As the screen faded to black, Divya's voice echoed in the minds of the viewers. "Let's continue to uplift each other. Share your stories, support one another, and never underestimate the impact you can have on someone's life. Together, we can create a world filled with love and hope." In this moment, the audience was called to action. If you've ever been inspired by someone or felt the need to inspire others, share your story with us in the comments below. Like this video if you believe in the power of connection, and subscribe for more uplifting content that reminds us of our shared humanity. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an opportunity to bring positivity into your life. The journey of Divya Bharti was not just one of fame and glamour. It was a testament to the power of human connection and the profound impact that one voice can have. As the credits rolled, viewers were left with a sense of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there's always a light to guide the